Once upon a time, in the peaceful kingdom of Eldorir, there was a princess named Lina, beloved by all for her kindness and wisdom. Eldoria had always been a land of balance, where the forces of nature, earth, water, fire, and air worked in perfect harmony. This delicate balance was guarded by four ancient elemental guardians, each bound to their respective element and charged with maintaining peace and prosperity in the world. The Earth Guardian, Krill, was a towering figure made of stone, who ensured the crops flourished and the lands remained fertile. The Water Guardian, Oceana, controlled the oceans, rivers, and rainfall, ensuring that the kingdom's waters never ran dry. Ignis, the Fire Guardian, kept the fires of the forge burning and lit the skies with the warmth of the sun. Lastly, Zephyr, the Air Guardian, controlled the winds, bringing gentle breezes in summer and fierce storms in winter, always keeping the air fresh and breathable. For centuries, these guardians had worked in unison, their powers keeping Eldoria safe and thriving. However, one dark day, a mysterious force began to corrupt the elements. Grill's forests withered, the rivers ran dry, the sun grew cold, and the winds became violent. The once beautiful kingdom began to crumble, and the people grew fearful. Lina, now 18 years old, had always been close to nature, spending her days in the forests and by the riversides, talking to the trees and listening to the winds. She knew that something was terribly wrong with the world, but she had no idea how to fix it. One evening, as the sun began to set, Lina walked to the castle's highest tower and gazed out at the kingdom. A voice broke the silence. "The world is out of balance," it said. Lina turned and saw a figure cloaked in green, with a crown of vines and flowers atop her head. It was the spirit of the earth itself, speaking through a woman-like form. "You must find the four elemental guardians and restore harmony to the land. Only you, Princess Lina, have the heart to bring them together." The spirit explained that the guardians had been separated and trapped by an evil sorcerer who sought to harness their powers for his own gain. Lina, with her deep connection to nature, was the only one who could break the barriers that held the guardians captive. Filled with a sense of purpose, Lina set out on a journey that would take her to the corners of Eldorir and beyond to find each guardian and restore balance to the world. Her first stop was the ancient forest where Girl, the Earth Guardian, was imprisoned. As Lina entered the deep woods, the ground trembled beneath her feet, and a massive stone figure emerged from the earth. Girl's rocky skin was cracked. His once mighty presence diminished. "I have been bound by dark magic," Grill rumbled, his voice deep and mournful. "Without my power, the soil has become barren, and the trees can no longer grow." Lina approached him with compassion. "I will help you, Grill. Together, we will restore the balance." She placed her hand on the stone, and with a surge of energy from her heart, she chanted an ancient prayer she had learned from the forest spirits. The magic of the earth flowed through her, and Girl's form began to glow. Slowly, the cracks in his stone body healed, and the forest around them began to flourish once again. "Thank you, Princess," Girl said, his voice filled with gratitude. "I will stand by your side." Next, Lina traveled to the shores of the Great Ocean, where Oceana, the Water Guardian, was trapped beneath the waves. The sea had grown still and murky, with no tides to guide the ships and no rains to nourish the crops. Lina waded into the shallow waters and called out to the Guardian. From the depths, a beautiful figure emerged, her body shimmering like the sea itself. "I have been imprisoned by the sorcerer's curse," Oceana explained. "Without my influence, the waters are dying, and the rivers have run dry." Lina, undeterred, reached out and spoke the ancient words taught to her by the spirits of the deep. As she did, the sea around them began to swirl, and Oceana's powers were restored. The ocean roared back to life, waves crashing against the shore, and fresh rain began to fall across the land. "You have freed me, Princess Lina," Oceana said with a smile, her voice like the sound of a gentle breeze over water. I will help you bring harmony to this world. The journey to find Ignis, the fire guardian, was more dangerous. Lyanna traveled to the heart of a dormant volcano, where the once vibrant flames had been reduced to smoldering embers. As she approached, she called out to Ignis from the depths of the volcano. A figure of fire and flame rose, its eyes glowing like molten lava. I have been trapped in this prison of ash, Ignis said, his voice crackling like a blaze. Without me, the warmth of the sun is gone, and the land grows cold. Lyanna, unafraid of the flames, approached with courage. She recited the ancient words, her voice steady and strong. As she did, the fire around Ignis roared to life, and the volcano erupted in a burst of flame, restoring the guardian to full strength. You have freed me, princess, Ignis said, his flames dancing in joy together. We will reignite the sun and bring warmth back to this land. Finally, Lyanna journeyed to the highest mountain peak to find Zephyr, the air guardian. The winds had grown violent, whipping across the land and causing destruction. At the summit, Lyanna called out to Zephyr. The sky darkened, and from the clouds, a figure of wind and mist appeared. I am trapped in the storm, Zephyr said, her voice like a whisper in the breeze. Without my guidance, the winds are uncontrollable. Lyanna, with determination in her heart, stepped forward and spoke the ancient words of the air. A great gust of wind enveloped her, and Zephyr's form began to solidify. The storm's calming and the sky clearing. Thank you, princess, Zephyr said, her voice now steady as the winds. The storms will no longer harm the land. With the four elemental guardians restored, Lyanna led them back to the heart of Aldoria, where the evil sorcerer awaited. Together, the guardians and Lyanna confronted the sorcerer, and with the combined power of earth, water, fire, and air, they shattered his dark magic and restored peace to the land. The kingdom of Aldoria flourished once again, and the people celebrated the return of balance. Princess Lyanna, now known as the Guardian of Harmony, continued to work with the elemental guardians, ensuring that the world remained in balance. She had not only saved her kingdom, but had formed a bond with the very elements that governed her world, a bond that would protect Eldoria for generations to come. And so, the princess and her four elemental friends ruled the land with wisdom, love, and balance, ensuring that peace and harmony would endure forever.